Howdy folks, and here I am back with part 2 of Trains in Films. Now, you've seen the title, but here's a quick refresher. This is what you're going to see today, so hopefully you'll enjoy the show. And here we are at Oakworth Station on John's Layout, somewhere in the Midlands, here in the UK. Brilliant. Ba-boom. Okay, the first one we're going to see today then is the Triang one, the Triang set from 1972. I will of course explain and tell you lots of things about things as we go through, but take it steady, just being cautious on that damn left hand point there on my Super 4 track. Funny, some things love it, some things hate it. Right, here she comes. Again, keeping it steady, and bearing in mind that how old this locomotive is, look at this Triang crawl on a motor service by me again. Look at that. Perfect. Right, let's get a little bit closer and let you have a look. So this is the Triang GNSR, Great Northern and Southern Railway. That's the Ginty. Here's the first coach in red and white window surrounds. And here is the Teak one. This is exactly how the set was back there in 1972. I will tell you more about it a little later, but yes, and that one has got a good trimming on it, look, perfect. They're normally always broke or missing. So there you go, there's the Triang rendition of the Railway Children train, and as I said, I will give you lots more information about it a little bit later on. So there you go. Let's move on. Right, this one now is the Bachmann rendition. Now this one's much more modern. I believe it was released in 2014. I've struggled a little bit to find out its release date, but I think it was 2014. So it's perhaps just a couple of years old. It's still available anyway. So we'll just take this one through. Right, nice. Okay, on to centre line, middle line, line 2. Again, I'm just trying to keep everything at a very sensible pace and being cautious. Yeah, that's me doing that. No problem with the loco or the track. Beautiful loco. Absolutely beautiful, this one. So have a quick look, and I'll give you the information further on in the video. Typical Bachmann model, of course. Perfect. We'll move along, show you. These are the two coaches that come with the set. This is the livery, which is more accurate than the bright white windows of the Triang set. But there it is. That's Bachmann's rendition of the Railway Children train set. Now next out we've got this. This is obviously an N2 in BR black, which you can clearly see. Now she's not a very expensive one. She's a mainline. A little bit on the noisy side, these are. A little bit like Airfix locos, tend to be a bit, buzzy and noisy, but it's certainly livable with. And I'll tell you more about the coaches in a little while. Let's just get her through for you first. You can have a swig of my whiskey. Oh, that's better. She's coming round onto the outside line, of course, line 3, because we've taken up the other two already. And yeah, I mean, like I say, it is a main line, but it runs well. You can see it clearly runs quite good. The detail's not too bad, and it just fills a gap. I've got an LNER N2, but I wanted a black one as well, so I decided to go for that, and I'm quite happy with it. It does the job. Now, I'll tell you about these coaches. First of all, we've got an LNER Teak there, and then behind I've got 3 Cali coaches, or Caledonians, if you don't know what Cali means for short. And they're not strictly the exact right ones, but they are certainly very, very close. The Scots Flyer in the film is pretty much exactly what this looks like. It can't be pretty much exactly, can it? That was a wrong termination. Anyway, you know what I mean. Come on, let's do the show. Starting here then with the N2, Being on the outside of the third line, I quite often start with the outer line, otherwise the others get blocked out a little bit. So yeah, we just get this going on the nice steady way we do. Yeah, that's all cool so far. Yeah, that seems like a good speed. Not over the top. Let's go for the Bachmann set then. And again, that looks like a sensible speed. Happy enough with those two. Now with the triang set. Excuse me. So I'm drinking my whiskey while I'm doing the narration. Yeah, it looks pretty good actually. Oh, hang on, I have my reservations about that. The ginger's a bit fast, I think. Hang on, let me try and slow that down. It's still going fast. Oh, I think I heard the sound of the N2 slowing down a little bit. I think I've just used the wrong controller. Hang on, let me get my head around this. Look, that's still too fast. I'll sort it out. Stay with me. Yeah, that's definitely running a bit slower, so let me get my head around and get it together. Probably the whiskey. Oh, that's better. Yeah, I've got the right control now. That's the ginger's looking much more like a sensible speed. Yeah, fine. Alright, just sit back, relax and enjoy the show and have a look at the different views and angles from around the room, as best as I can always do. And I'll just drop in every now and then and mention anything that I think is worth mentioning. Yeah, I've speeded the N2 back up, obviously, you can see it there. It certainly makes for three very nice looking trains running together. I'm sure you can probably hear what I mean about the motor in the N2, the mainline motor being sort of like a buzzy, you know, whining type noise, so to speak. But yeah, like I say, it is kind of livable with. I might treat myself to a better one at a later date, who knows. Yeah, the reason I use the 3 Caledonian coaches on the back of the N2 and the LNE Arctique is because in the movie they are the same coaches that were used on the Railway Children Loco, the pannier, which you can see there, like just going around there. But I don't have enough coaches to be able to do that for you. So I chose to use the Caledonians quite simply to make it like all three able to run together, because they're certainly very, very similar. just a few seconds from over the top, just for a change. And what I'm going to do here on this part of the video, I'm going to go into a fade out, and you'll see why in a minute. So let's do this. Let's now take a look at the two sets a little bit closer with a bit of information about them. Now this Triang set is a typical example of the kind of thing that Triang would do. They would make something up from moulds and tooling that they already have, and they would dress them up to look like something that they actually weren't, and then give it a theme or a name, and in this case of course it's the Railway Children. Now I can tell you this set is actually fairly rare. It came, I think it was 1972, it was only manufactured for the 1 year. I think I've read that there was 1,500 of them made. Now if you think that Triang were churning stuff out in the tens and even up to hundreds of thousands, then of course 1,500 is not a lot by no means. So let me tell you about the items. I think the set sold, I think the number was RS615, I'm sure it was, and I think the set sold for £7.73. I just looked that one up, by the way, and that's about $30 back there in 1972. So let me explain the situation. What they've done here is quite simply taken the Ginty and done a mould of it with the brown, well, the kind of brown colour that it is from the Railway Children in the GN and SR livery. They've obviously dressed it up to look like the one in the film, which of course it isn't, because it's a pannier tank in the film and it's nothing like this. But again, that's, like I said, that's what Triang used to do. This is a clerestory roof, the short wheelbase, the first one that they did, and they've done it in red plastic along with the white window framing, as you can see there. Now I can tell you in actual fact that on the film, the window framing is not actually white, it's more of a cream. But anyway, that's what Triang did. Now the last coach here is from the I'll tell you, Davy Crockett set, and of course it's an American looking thing really. It's got the balconies obviously front and back. Oh, and this one has got a chimney, yeah, I mentioned that earlier. Yeah, and they've done it in teak and dressed it up to look like the coach that's on the end where the well-off gentleman is travelling in it. I forget the name of the one in the film, I'll have to check that, but there you go, that's the original Triang set, and as you can clearly see, she's in mint condition, so brilliant, worth a few quid now, that one. Here you go then, we have the Bachmann set. The catalogue number is 30-575. I think it was released in 2014. I've actually had a look and a search for that and I can't actually find out when, but I think it was 2014, excuse me. You can usually pick this up for about 120 quid. It's still current, it's still available. Now the Loco, which of course is the correct pannier tank there, and you can see it's an absolute beauty. The detail on it is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely typical of Bachmann to do the right thing, the right job, and do everything perfect look. I'm not going to dwell on it because there are other people who've actually reviewed the set, so I'm just going to give you the basics. So there you go, there you have it. Now I will just point out to you, it comes with these two coaches, which are, as you can see, more of a creamy colour, and that is certainly more correct to the film itself. So there you go, that's the two of them, like that. Now what I will say, in the movie, which I do have on DVD, and I have studied it quite a bit, even though this set from Bachmann is fantastic, it's actually still not quite right, because in the movie they had this coach, it may have been a break, I'm not sure, I haven't actually looked at that, but it had a single coach like this, and then on the back end it had two more coaches, but they were short ones. The first short one looks like this, a bit shorter, maybe 4 or 6 wheels, and the very last one is a teak, short, very square looking thing with, I think it's got a clerestory roof on it, and I forget the name offhand, but as I say, I will check it and I'll tell you in a little while. But anyway, there you go then. The original film, well, I think the original BBC series, I think, was either 1965 or 1968. This film, The Railway Children, as most people know it, was 70s, definitely 70 something, and of course there was a remake in 2000 and none of this stock was featured in that, so that might be something worth looking into for a later date. But there you have it. let's get back to some running. Oh, and I'm going to add something. I'm going to spice things up a little bit. Don't go away, I'm coming back just a couple of seconds. And so in order to spice things up a little bit, like I said, please let me introduce you to my beautiful Hornby Peckett Dodo 040. This, guys, dolls, is a absolute stunning locomotive done by Hornby. It's a beauty. It weighs a ton for what it is, that is, and it is an excellent performer. I never actually had one until one of my fellow YouTubers, Mike from Mike's Trains, mentioned to me that he'd got one, and have I got one? And no, I didn't have. And I'd always thought about buying it, but look, I'm just going to get it down here, click on some more coaches, which I'll show you about, obviously, and we're going to pull these out. Now, another new camera shot for you. What I've done here is I've used an old long wagon that is basically a spare scrapper, and I put some weights on it to help keep it down, which you can clearly see, and by mounting the onboard cam as far back as possible on this particular wagon, you can see that the front of the locomotive is just managing to be in focus. Any closer with the camera, the front of the loco is not in focus, but look, you can see it really well here, and it really has come out great. I'm really happy about this. So it's particularly a new view for you, and for myself as well, of course. So we'll just bring this round. I've got two coaches on her, and we're going to bring her around, and yeah, you'll see what's happening in a minute or so. Now, I'm actually slowed down a bit there, but then I sped up because I needed to push her onto line 1. And look, guys, this is just amazing. It is stunning, it's amazing, it's unbelievable. But this little Peckett loco has just gone up my changeover point from Series 6 track, modern track, to Super 4 track. And she's running on Super 4 track, and the wheels are so close. I can't believe that this little loco is doing this without any struggle whatsoever on any point or anything. So I'm using her again here a second time. I'm not going to go all the way around the back, just bring her around through here. I want to grab some more coaches for you from the left-hand dog leg of the layout well, you'll see why for in a minute. This is a beautiful little thing. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's got to be the cutest little thing I've ever seen. Grab some more coaches. A little bit sharp there on the coupling, but at least they're on. Same again with the onboard cam facing the loco. Again, another view I've not done before. Yeah, you can hear them slowing down a little bit there because the pines on the pine trees are catching on things as they go round there. But yeah, it's not a problem. She's not stalled, she's not stammered, she's not stopped on any points whatsoever. And it's still amazing that this loco is doing this with the two wheels so close to each other. I honestly did not believe this would do this on point. I expected it to stop on frogs every single time. Alright, we'll stop here, just nudge it forward a little bit. Right, that's cool. Now before we get into the final running session, let me just show you this. This is one of the coaches that you've just seen from the Bachmann set. Now, I'm not for one second saying this is correct, because it's not, but what I am trying to show you here is that it looks a little bit more like this. Now, obviously this is a normal four-wheel coach. In the movie, it's the same sort of livery as this one, obviously, but it's definitely not a full-length coach. It's something shorter like this. It might even be a six-wheeler, I can't quite tell. I'm not particularly an expert on all of this anyway. And then on the very end, we've got this teak one, this LNER type one, which again is shorter than the main first coach, and it's again, it could be a six-wheeler, and it's not this shape. It's actually very square, and I'm sure it's got a clerestory roof. In fact, both of those two short ones might have a clerestory roof, but I'm not sure about that one. I'd have to look at the DVD again. But the point I'm making in here is that the original one in the film, you've got a normal coach like that, you've got something that's shorter but in this livery, and then you've got a teak coach on the end, which to say is very square, and there is a name for it, and I can't remember it, but I will read up about it again, and I'll let you know before the end of the video. Well, like I said, I wanted to put a bit more spice into it, and as it happens, I mean, you've just seen them being pulled out by the little dodo. I've actually got two of the smoking cars there. If we move along, we've now got two of the Clerestory roof, red with white windows on the back of the Chinty there, and now on the beautiful GN and SR, we've got 4 coaches now, 3 and a brake over there on the end. So before we get into the running session, last thing to do is bring back out the N2. Let's do that. And out she comes, and I've done a camera shot from the front for you on this one now as well. So here we go. Yeah, there's really nothing I can do about those weights. Like I say, if I bring the camera any closer, it just doesn't focus properly. It's just about right at that distance there. But it still looks good, doesn't it? Something different again. Ooh. Bring it to a stop. Yeah, it's a good shot, that. I like that. Yeah. Let me just bring the Bachmann through. Ah, that looks cool. I like that very much. I love that. There you go. Right, let's get into the last bit of the running session. Come on. Starting off then with the Triang set. Yeah, looks good. All 3 locomotives now have 4 coaches on each, so there's plenty to look at. There we go with the Bachmann set. The extra 2 coaches that I bought. Very nice looking, that. And of course the N2. Or the Scots Flyer, as it is in the movie. Yeah, it's all looking good. Oh, I don't know if you've noticed, but I decided to put all 3 of them in the clockwise direction for this last running session. Excuse me. I'll get you some good shots down the length of the room then, as I've said 1,000 times. Alright then, sit back, enjoy the show. I'll just chime in every now and then if I think of something to say. Oh yes, I have thought of something to say. Yes, I was talking to you a bit earlier about that square coach on the back of the train in the film, the teak one. It's actually a Great Northern teak, and it's actually called the Director's Coach or the Director's Saloon. Oh yes. Oh yes, that was great. That was a beautiful shot. Oh, I really like that one. I'm going to have to change some speeds, I think, because otherwise you're going to see them all going around as a bunch. I'll try and slow the Jinty down a little bit. Yeah, that's made a difference right away. Oh, without doubt. Oh, very nice. Yeah, I've sped up the pannier. Hopefully she's going to pull away from the N2 a little bit now. Yeah, it's working. Trying to split them all up a little bit. Top left corner. Yeah, it's not too bad at all now. Top right corner. Oh, we're back to them together again. Right, well there's the Jinty. Oh, and there's the pannier. Cool. Oh look, the N2, there's certainly a part there. In the corner where the windmill is. The N2, Jinty, and the pannier. night trip on the train there with the little camera on the front of the M2. Right, now we're on the pannier. Now listen, I normally only go around once, but I've just realised that the way this is turning out here, you can see the one on the left, the M2 there, pulling the Scots Flyer. And I think, yes, look, we're going to get this in as well, look. Yes, look at that. I left it running a bit longer there. Right, just once round on the Ginty. Again, some great shots. Very pleased with it all. Then back to normality. And that's about it, guys. Been a good running session. Don't think it's too long at 27 minutes. It's a pretty good length. Yeah, they're all coming through nice and separate now, look. Yeah, that's definitely about it. I'm shattered now. Alright, quick fade out, let's do it. Well, there you are, guys, that's the final shot of the three of them together. What a great photo that is. I'd like to wish you a happy new year, even though it is the 4th today, and of course I hope you had a happy Christmas. I've got a great idea in mind for part 3, but I'm not going to run it yet. I'm going to do a couple of others first. So till I see you all again, hope you enjoyed the show. Bye, bye, bye.